If you look at, say, FDR saying the only thing you have to fear is fear itself, the kind of tacit counterpoint to that from the Bush administration after 9/11 was the only thing you have to fear is not enough fear.
We still have a dangerous world, and that's very important for, I think, the people understand where I'm coming from, to know that this is a dangerous world.
We discussed the need to prepare for a full range of asymmetric threats, including terrorism, cyber attacks, advanced conventional weapons, cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, and certainly weapons of mass destruction.
This is a gang that needs people to be afraid. It's a gang that really can't have any political success whatsoever in a state of tranquility and peace of mind.
Tom Ridge, convinced terrorists will try to hit America.
The politics of fear that this administration has deployed in trying to respond to terrorism has itself in some ways been much more dangerous than terrorism itself. And this administration has been, I think, responsible for inciting the very terror that it was the terrorists' purpose to incite in America.
Calling it Code Orange Plus. The Fed's decision to raise the terror alert to high. America on high alert from biggest cities to smallest towns.
Red, yellow, orange. We're afraid. Be afraid. What level of fear? The government can program that without any justification. You know, we have an intelligence report that terrorists are about to attack. Who? We don't know. Where? We don't know. What? We don't know. But you tell us, so now we're afraid.
A Connecticut man wrapping his family's 19th century farmhouse with plastic, sealing it in duct tape.
And then, in the same breath, you know, while the smoke's still rising out of the ruins of the World Trade Center and now the Pentagon, we're told that this has gone beyond simply 19 men hijacking 4 airplanes. And this has turned into a global conspiracy against the United States that must be confronted militarily.
One has to say it's not just simply a matter of capturing people and holding them accountable, but removing the sanctuaries, removing the support systems, ending states who sponsor terrorism.
We're too great a nation to allow the evildoers to affect our soul.
The decision was made within the administration to take this event, to take the struggle against al-Qaeda, and make it into a full-fledged struggle against good and evil.
Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
The important thing to remember here is one didn't have to put it in these terms. One didn't have to say, if you're not for us, on our side, you're on the side of the terrorists. That was not a necessary response. That was a chosen response.
Within a year of 9/11, in a charged climate of fear, anxiety, and lingering outrage over the attacks on the World Trade Center, George W. Bush traveled to West Point to announce the basic elements of his own new national security strategy. Invoking the memory of the 9/11 terror attacks, he made the Wolfowitz Doctrine official U.S. policy, in the process setting the stage for a U.S. invasion of Iraq.
We must take the battle to the enemy, disrupt his plans, and confront the worst threats before they emerge.
It was a brazen announcement that the United States now officially rejected Article 51 of the UN Charter, a cornerstone of international law enacted after World War II and used to convict Nazis of war crimes at the Nuremberg trials. A law designed explicitly to prevent nations from using military force to advance their own sense of national and moral superiority, and to prevent the kind of unprovoked so-called preemptive wars of aggression that ravaged the world over the first half of the 20th century.
And our security require all Americans to be forward-looking and resolute, to be ready for preemptive action.
It moves, for the first time in its history, it moves the United States outside of the compass of international law, away from Article 51 of the United Nations Charter, and says in effect that the United States will make war at a time and place of its choosing against enemies that it declares its enemies based on its own perception of what the threats are.
It was hailed as a new strategy, but it was based on old ideas. It marked the culmination of a relentless campaign by radical conservatives to change the very nature of American foreign policy, to use unrivaled American military power to shape the globe and the 21st century itself in the image of the United States, to create, in their own words, a new American century.
And this is a strange notion, actually, that people think that the whole world, because we all live in the same time, right? It's 2003 for everybody, it'll be 2004 for everybody, but that, that America has no territorial bounds, but that actually time belongs to America.
They want the USA to outdo all previous empires, not in its longevity, but in its permanence, which, for all their work in college and all their wide reading, is an insane program. What does it have to do with the Constitution? What does it have to do with democracy? What does it have to do with the pursuit of happiness? Nothing. It's about power. It's about domination. It's about control of dwindling resources.